right, hello everyone. Welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I need to turn my mic down a tiddly bit, but there we go. Hi, DB Smiley here, bringing you very big A West matchup between ReGen Retro and Baby Makers. So, two teams in A West, both undefeated right now, but have only played one match each, as both had bye weeks in the opening round. So we haven't really gotten a chance to see them in play yet that much. Should be a great game, though, once we do get going. Hang on one second. Just communicating with the teams. All right, sorry. Just making sure the teams do not set me as referee, so I'm not in charge of pausing in that. But hey, look, they both have 3 points, which you'd think 3 weeks in means they may have lost something, but they haven't. They just haven't played a lot yet. Currently, have only played one match each. Both teams undefeated. So there we go. And we will jumping into this soon. Map bans, ReGen Retro banning out Braxis and Curse, Baby Makers banning out BOE and Tomb. Leaves up, however, kind of more unconventional maps. But here we go, jumping right into the draft between ReGen Retro and Baby Makers. Here on D-Shire. So heading in, some things I've noticed this week with Diva now being street legal in the Nexus Gaming series is she has been drawing a lot of bans, whereas nobody gives a fuck about Gazlowe, which, you know, is not really much of a change. But from there, first ban to come. You do have first pick. First pick, very powerful. Baby Makers won the toss and chose that. Rexar is going to be their ban. Sensible ban onto the map. Rexar, a Shrunk Zone laner. Hasn't been seen as much this season, but 53% win rate. Not too shabby. There's that Diva ban. And, hasn't been eligible to be picked up until this week, but she is just getting banned pretty much every game. Next ban to come in from Baby Makers. What's it going to be? Gonna be the Garrosh. Garrosh, arguably one of the more popular tanks, 45% popularity rate, fairly pedestrian 51. Hi, Murda, welcome. Obviously, always excited to cast a ReGen team because I know the work they put in. So thank you for the work you do with that organization. Gives us a lot of great games to cast. Abathur gonna be the
Anna checking in.
next ban. And then that's going to take us to a very quick Ana pick. Ana grabbed by Freckle there. As we take a look at some stats. Only has played the game once, but 0 deaths on the hero. An average healing of 68. That is not bad. ETC Greymane getting grabbed. ETC gotta be up there in the popularity numbers, one would think. Indeed, 81%, 53% win rate as well. Greymane, one of those heroes that has felt like he's never not been meta. Ooh, we got a spicy Medivh coming out from Dead Wish. Sheeb's gonna grab the Diablo. It's kind of a classic combo there. Let's see if he has played Diablo this, or played Medivh this season. Has not, so his first game breaking this one out. Maybe trying to catch Retro off guard. helps with the Ana. Add some burst mitigation that Ana absolutely lacks. As we see the Sylvanas ban, sensible ban. Can dive in with the Diablo, get a lot of push power with the Dragon. And just all in all, a great assassin. Your mom pleasure. I hope not. As we see, getting grabbed here by a potato. See the Junkrat ban as well. There's the Vikings. So Vikings has definitely been a popular pick. And we're going to see it here played by Aaron. Vikings have gone from this like very rarely seen niche pick to something I have seen in quite a lot of games this season. Taking a look at the stats.
Anytime you're ready.
Currently 10% popularity, which is much higher than usual. But there is the Sonya Raynor. Both are going to be able to pressure those Vikings a bit, especially Sonya will certainly be able to get some burst kills if they catch anyone with their vision away. Last pick to come now. Presumably a healer that sets up well the ganks. Yep, there it is. So pretty standard, hey, we're just going to go and kill stuff and hope for the best on the side of, pardon me here, on the side of ReGen Retro. Just making sure I have everyone's heroes set up correctly. There we go. That's the problem. But yeah, so, you know, you have the Vikings to soak. You have a lot of opportunity to get camps with the Greymane, but of course get ganks with that Uther ETC. You got the Li Ming Greymane follow. Very, very aggressive, but a fairly standard Vikings comp from the side of ReGen Retro. Standard for having Vikings in it, that is.
Heroes, prepare
but we
for
shall
combat.
see, as my cursor guards were still on. Cursor guides, excuse me. So we're going to go ahead and pop those off. And here we go to introduce our two teams. So on the left side, it is going to be ReGen Retro. We're going to have Aaron on the Vikings, Hunter X on the Ming, Zammy Bars on ETC, Potato on Greymane, and Ender going to be playing that Uther, who has certainly risen as a solo healer of late after that couple of changes he got. Lawlins on the other side, going to be playing Sonya for Baby Makers. Got Paper Tanks on the Raynor. Freckle Baba Mana. D-Sheebs going to be on Diablo. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. And Dead Wish is going to be on that Medivh. As always, keep an eye on Master's Touch. Both teams with pretty big aggression in terms of how they want to fight. Anytime you see a Diablo Medivh, you want to kind of pop in the enemy backline and get off that APOC combo. So that's a very aggressive engage. Of course, you have Uther to counter that out. On the other side, of course, it's all about comboing up the ETC Uther in order to enable the Greymane and Ming to blow some stuff up. There we go.
You think yourself worthy to wield the dragon?
So first objective is starting. We do have a little bit of a well snipe here. While Baylog just continues to poke away at Lawlins on that Sonya. Zammy mounted up, thinking maybe about going in for this siege, but not pulling the trigger on it. Baby Maker's going to get their siege in the lane first. Medivh going to scout Greymane ETC, clearing. 4v2 here in the bottom at the moment. The Vikings, of course, not going to have too much trouble capping top, especially with Sonya doing a double soak. Baby Maker's decides late to maybe look at the camp, but too late to actually make a decision aggressively on it. That said, Diablo does channel the point. They want to make sure they're controlling this bottom because of the pressure the extra Vikings bodies are going to put on top. And Sonya not really going to spend too much time and energy on it. 4v4 here in the bot. Sonya kind of stuck having the double soak here. Greymane goes in. Ooh, good sleep dart, but it's woken up. Medivh already halfway done. Not halfway, but about a third of the way done on Master's Touch. Ooh, but a great protected, by the way, onto Paper Tank. Prevents that Rainer from getting popped. Good job, Dead Wish, on that Medivh. Already, slight XP lead from ReGen Retro, but more importantly, they have the positional lead. And this is going to force Sonya to hover mid, so that is going to exacerbate that XP difference as nobody in the top. But here comes the combo on the ETC. Sleep Dart comes in. Healing reduction is there. And Rainer manages to trace down the ETC before Uther can get the heal out. And those long cooldowns can be a bear, especially when you have to negotiate around that Ana Grenade. Great Ana Grenade there from Freckle Bob that allows the recap and allows Sonya to resume the double soak without really losing much XP at all. So well played there by Baby Makers on that rotation. ReGen Retro gonna have to regroup, but ETC back up. They can start looking aggressive here. Bottom camp picked up. Zami moves on to the point. We'll cap in 3, 2, 1. It is capped. Sonya did capture top at the moment, but it's being channeled by Olaf. Medivh coming down. ETC trying to finish the cap. Zami gets low, power slides through, and they do recapture bottom, so as not to allow a Viking to sneak at. And I gotta say, Sonya playing really well to trust your team. Good engage there on the ETC, but a good counter stun. Body blocks coming in now from Diablo. ETC power slides through. Both teams really poking back and forth. Nobody hard committing to the engage, although that may change now. There's the stun on the Greymane. Uther stun in return, protected by the way to mitigate out that damage. Paper Tanks takes a huge charge strike there from Li Ming. That's right, Li Ming going Seeker. Excuse me, not charge strike, Seeker. So watch for those big pops, especially off the Uther stun. Can do a lot of damage. Zami trying to channel the point. Diablo says, no, no sir, no. But has to back up, recognizing numbers as camp was taken, but now the blue point is captured. Eric making the rotation. Sonya, though, gonna chase Eric away. That said, if Sonya has to stay mid, she is not channeling elsewhere, so, you know, Baby Makers, the burden of execution's on them. They do, however, manage to grab this space. They've at least neutralized the point, now they recapture. That will allow Sonya to resume those rotations. Very competitive game so far. Just dead even between these teams on XP. Of course, with the Vikings comp, a big goal is to get a lot of picks before 10 to try to mitigate the fact that Vikings can fall off a bit in the mid game. Not as true now as it used to be, but still something you would typically want the XP lead here, and they don't really have it much. Oh, and ETC unable to get out of there. Really, really good job there by Sheebs on that Diablo, timing his cooldowns, and great follow-up. Medivh has not finished Master's Touch yet, but currently sitting at 32. Going for the channel, but now Greymane on to the Medivh. Ooh, Uther got slept. Oh, gets woken up and has the D shield. Uther manages to escape. Here comes a big rotation down. 4v3 situation. Medivh not down here yet. Top has been captured. Will ReGen Retro get bottom? As yet they haven't. Bullet comes out. Big 3-man stun. They go for the mosh. Great sleep dart from the Ana. Sets up the APOC. Ooh, but Deadwish is so low. Now would be in just a really bad time to die. But Deadwish finished the Master's Touch. Has a great ley line seal to turn this fight around. And now can go in aggressively. They're not able to grab the ETC, but they do get the Greymane and the Uther. And that is 4 kills now for Baby Makers. As they continue to just show their combo potential very well off this Diablo. But Medivh finishing Master's Touch, absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. Play again has been popped by the Vikings. They're bringing everyone mid. Sonya rotating down. Gonna whirlwind some Vikings. Ooh, on the bottom, sorry we missed it. Good engage there. First kill for ReGen Retro. They do manage to find Medivh. Diablo having to back up. That will enable this invade onto the siege camp. And I like that Retro, they're doing something with this kill. You know, they're not all-inning for DK. They know that's a big opportunity cost, especially with the death timers this short. But they are denying a camp and getting some extra push power. Greymane does get flipped over the wall, but the gate's still very low. I think Greymane's going to be fine. Indeed, he is. Medivh now coming back down, so it's 4v4 in the bottom again. 13 in the hands of Retro, but only for a second will they have that over Baby Makers, and that's going to end momentarily. Sonya fighting with Olaf over this point, and Eric is going to get this channel before the counter capture occurs, and ReGen Retro gets the first DK. So the Vikings definitely paying off there, having the extra bodies on the map. Worked out well for them. That said, DK has paid half of its life for a tower, now more than half its life. But the focus down here on bottom, ooh, D-Shield has to be used just to get ETC out of there from underneath the tower. They managed to at least get the wall, but they didn't really get a fort here, and they're only going to get the wall in mid for this DK. And just a tiny amount of poke damage onto the structure. Eric may be... Alright, yeah, he's Eric. He's going to be fine. He'll just walk away. But good choice there by Retro, recognizing, hey, we don't need to push with the DK. We just need to get value. And almost using the DK as bait. Ooh, big ley line catches two. There's the APOC. Well timed. Hits both. And that is Li-Ming going down. And Uther as well. Great comboing there by Deadwish and D-Sheets. They portal onto this bruiser camp. Sonya going to rotate back towards the top now. And this is an opportunity to do something. You have Uther and Li-Ming dead for another 13. Question is, what can they do? Well, they can portal onto the space. Oh, but I think a little bit of a misclick there, as they almost certainly meant to charge Greymane, but perhaps clicked on the minion instead. Still, they do deny Bruiser Camp. They should be able to grab Eric here. Never a bad idea to kill a Viking when it's free like that. That camp seal drew a lot of attention from Retro top to try to limit the damage to that fort. And so you see the Hyperion immediately push on the bot. Of course, bot lane always focus here. Meanwhile, Sonya is getting chased. Can they land the stun? They send the portal in, but they're not able to get Sonya through the portal in time. And that is a big counter kill, catching Sonya out. Now ETC looking for the Ana. Ooh, didn't pull the trigger on that power slide in time. Did enable Diablo to stun and dismount the ETC so Ana could get out of there. But now possibly a fight over the siege camp. ETC posturing up like he wants it. Ming could come in on a big flank here with some orbs. Ooh, there's the ley line. Traps out Diablo. APOC, or traps out ETC, excuse me. APOC got some value, bought them time to finish the ETC. Now it looks like Ender not going to get out of there either. I like the idea of Retro to invade there, but it just that ley line really limited their efficacy. Great ley line there by Deadwish. Another dragon, though, taken in the interim. It does get mid-fort, so the structure lead grows a bit for the members of ReGen Retro. And that's, you know, that's a perfectly fine way to play Vikings. Greymane wanting to find Sonya out here. Mystic Spear, the talent choice from Sonya, give her some extra mobility.
Red team has destroyed.
Siege has been stolen. Medivh finishes up that bottom camp. And so, for now, Babymaker's equaling up the pressure on bot lane just a little bit. Keep an eye, of course, on this big wave push, as there is a Kata paired with this one. Meanwhile, they are focusing their attention right now onto the Bruiser camp. There we go. Medivh came down, cleared up the bottom. Now rotating up with the team, maybe looking for an engage. Very even on XP. Both teams doing a good job, not leaving much in the way of minions on the map. Really finding every ounce, and it's, you know, it's prevented the Vikings from getting kind of that big XP lead because of how well Babymakers has been soaking. Down goes Baylog. Down goes Sacrificial Lamb. Big defense coming up here from ReGen Retro, as the focus is now onto the top lane. They have the spell armor, so they want to fight with this, but that mage is about to drop. And it has dropped. Hyperion comes out, trying to get some damage. Big power slide hits Ming, or Ming combo follow-up. It hits Sonya. Big ley line, though, and here's the APOC, and this might be massive. It's 4, but Hunter did have the medallion up. Looks like the nano boost was used onto the Diablo. Oh, but a Mosh is not enough to save Uther. That said, it might have been able to kill onto Raynor. No, the big heal's coming in. Raynor does stay alive. It was a really good Mosh from Zami, but the Uther was just beyond saving in that case. Lawland's a bit low, gets a big heal though from Anna. Freckle really hitting these heal darts in big ways. And that armor, of course, off the stuns is very valuable. That said, Vikings looking to channel again. This time, Diablo and Anna here, gonna make sure that doesn't happen. Medivh able to cap the bottom with 2 people off the map. This is a prime opportunity for Babymakers to try to get a DK. They're looking at ETC now. Raynor has come down. ETC should have the mobility to get out of this. But that said, the portal, no. The portal actually trapping Zami in. And Zami not able to escape without that power slide. I forgot, Medivh allows you to chase basically anyone. Yep. Siege being grabbed bot. Ming is going to clear it up quite a bit, as well as just waste its time drawing fire. Medivh looking to portal behind the wall, but now portal onto the Ming. Oh, what a savvy portal. Great portal, and that secures the pickoff onto the Li Ming. The Medivh play has been top-notch. And Babymakers now about to take the first keep of the game and may actually look to end here. They do have the Sonya and the Raynor. Cursed Bullet, though, hitting on the Sonya may make them think twice. Medivh has gone into bird form. Ooh, Sheep's taking a lot of damage here. Deadwish does get power slid on. Leyline used. Looking for the APOC. Looks like Greymane was actually stopped much longer. I'm not sure if that was intended or what exactly happened. It is Medivh cheat. Ooh, but there is a great play by Steve. Medallion into the Shadow Charge to interrupt Mosh. That was a very smart play, and that's going to enable them to kill the Uther, but Uther does have level 20 and will be coming back. And Uther is now back, and that might enable the turnaround onto Sonya. It does. And that is the level 20 value you want to see when you are playing Uther. Very, very well done by Ender, getting in position to res and immediately help the team. And now, ooh, the chase is on. Are they going to be able to get Diablo? Protected, by the way, nullifies out the Cursed Bullet, and that is going to let Diablo find the portal and escape. Once again, the Medivh play just absolutely solid. But meanwhile, these Katas have done a number onto this mid-keep. Ming has channeled the bottom. Top is blue as well, and Potato is going to get a DK. Raynor stepped up trying to get the interrupts. Oh my goodness, what a ley line. Raynor was 1,000,000,000% dead, and then after ley line, just casually walks away whistling. Great ley line from Medivh, but that said, there is now a Dragonite bearing down onto the core, and ReGen Retro recognizing situation is they really need to look to end with this DK. APOC combo tries to get onto the Ming medallions, but the chase is on. Power slide though onto Sonya. Is Hunter X going to be able to get out? Blinks away. Meanwhile, this DK has been on the core, but now Greymane about to pop out of the Dragonite. Can they get the re-engage? They got 77% left on the core. They're going in through the portal. There's the Medallion. Hellgate combo lands onto ETC. Is it Deathmosh? It is not. ETC going with the Bolt of the Storm. I missed that choice earlier. A couple of Vikings go down as well. Health bars are, however, very low. Anna can heal up given enough time. Ooh, Greymane on the chase, though, gets the sleep dart. Great stun from Uther to peel Potato back out. Lawlins trying to heal off this with the Whirlwind and does outlast the Greymane. And now portaling over to Siege Camp. They're gonna... are they just going straight for core? They are. With all 5 up, 2 dead, not even counting Vikings. That should be game. Ooh, but maybe not now. The stun hits onto Lawlins, and Ming is a great defender. Leyline Seal does not hit the Ming. Baylog trying to stun out Sonya, but Sonya now with a full health bar. Yes, the Diablo is down, but the Sonya and the Raynor are rather healthy indeed. ETC, though, power slides into the back, gets the Mosh, gets interrupted, but Ming pops off, kills 2, but it's not enough, as the Raynor and the Sonya do eventually get the core. And so with that, great game from both teams. I really liked both comps. I thought both teams played their comps exactly how they wanted to. That said, some of Babymaker's invades with the portals were just absolutely disgusting. Very, very well executed. As we take a look at the stats here. Ooh, Freckle Bob's healing. 92, but also look at Medivh's damage prevented. 30k damage prevented. That is high. You know, there's a lot of damage coming out from ReGen Retro, but the combination of Medivh and Anna just did so well. Zami had some great moshes that game, but ultimately the Medivh just making such a big difference. But we're gonna go ahead. We'll get set up for game number 2. We'll be right back, everyone. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. right, welcome back, everyone. Great game one on Dragonshire. Coming out from both teams. Baby Makers getting the win there. Baby Makers choosing to take us to Infernal Shrines. Very quick turnaround, so always love to see that as we're getting set to go into it. Man, that Medivh play was really good in that last set. Dead Wish may have just gotten that hero banned for the rest of the match. Whether it lasts one game or two. Obviously, Medivh good on Infernal Shrines specifically as well. See what happens. Everyone's ready, but we haven't quite started yet. It is going to be Infernal Shrines. Taking a look. The most... well, two of the most, like, team fighty maps left. The other, of course, being Volskaya. So Baby Makers wanting to stick to those kind of brawlier matches. Trying to see if we are doing any last second prep before we start here. We're getting ours again, so they know I'm ready. I'm not sure if, I think whoever was the host did not realize they were the host. So that explains the delay jumping in. But here we go. Oops, you don't want to see me, you want to see draft. Here we go. Baby Makers up 1-0 over ReGen Retro. Heading into map number 2. D.Va made it... No, D.Va got banned first. Chromie made it through the draft last time. Chromie very good on this map. I don't think she'll make it through again. There's the Medivh ban. Medivh was... It wasn't just that it's Medivh and people don't know how to play against it and it's hard to play against. It was that the Medivh was actually played sensationally well. That I think warrants the ban. Garrosh gonna get banned out by Baby Makers. Banned it out in the last game. Wanted to keep Zammy off the orc. No, one of the orcs. Alright. And then there is the D.Va ban, this time from Baby Maker. Sylve banned out once again. Obviously incredibly strong on the map. With the ability to push with the Punisher. What will be the first pick? We saw an Ana first pick from Baby Makers in the last game. Not as solid an Ana map in my experience because the fights tend to be wider. Like, you tend to have people left to right as opposed to just, like, in, like, a hallway where Ana gets a lot of value. Like you did on D-Shire or Cursed Hollow. So I like foregoing the Ana first pick. Getting the Greymane for the camp clear, for the shrine clear, for the burst damage, I think is good. You have Maiev ETC coming out. So Dead Wish jumping on another one of those heroes that, when played well, can be absolutely devastating. So we'll see if it gets played to the same level as we just saw that Maiev get played. Ana Zul. Zul is, you know, a good pick for the sake of solo laning in that. I'm really worried about Zul's ability to do anything in team fights. against this ETC and this Maiev. Yes, Zul wants to be against melee, but there's just a lot of displacement there. A lot of displacement that could punish really hard if Zul goes in too early. Meanwhile, you see the Kael'thas banned out, wanting to deny a good mage for the map. Kael'thas very strong on the map with all the choke points, with the shrine clear. Obviously, you know, nano boost makes Kael'thas, let's call it a touch, fucking horrible to play against. Let's see. I adjusted volumes a bit, so hopefully it's a bit better. Let me know if it's too wrong. Deckard gonna be the ban, which makes sense. Deckard follow up with the Maiev. You get everyone grouped up into a Ruby, into a Sleep. Bad things happen. Of course, the Stukov exceptional with this as well. Could see an E-build Stukov with the Maiev. Blaze, yeah, this is gonna be... There's a lot of CC here. And Anna... Well, she has the counter stun armor, which I think is the choice. But she can't do anything with Stukov's silence. And that's going to be a bit of a concern. Okay. All right. We got a Zampter X. I think that's what the name will be. Zampter X. We have a Cho'Gall, which into this much melee actually is brilliant. Cho'Gall has one of... If you get in melee range of Cho'Gall, he has like a 5-second stun and you just fucking die. And there's nothing you can do about it. Especially with Stukov, who doesn't have a cleanse. Like, you actually just take tons of damage and can't do anything for like 5 seconds. And if they hit that combo on anyone, especially if you get a healing grenade on them and Greymane follow-up, they're dead as fuck, basically. Raynor gonna be the last pick. So that's your range damage. But the Cho'Gall I did not see coming, but the second I saw it, I'm like, yeah, that's a really good pick. Now, if I were to pick a healer into Cho'Gall, I would pick Stukov for the overall healing throughput that Stukov can do. But if Stukov goes a very healy build, a big part of that is targeted excision at 7. And targeted excision at 7 counteracts with growing infestation. So it's an interesting trade-off. We'll see which direction it goes as we head into the map to introduce our two teams. It is Zampter X! I picked correctly. Here we go, introducing teams. On the left side, ReGen Retro. It's going to be Aaron on the Zul. It's going to be Zammy Bars and Hunter X on the Cho and the Gall, respectively. Potato on Greymane and Ender on the Anna. And on the right side, 4 Baby Makers. It is Lawlins once again on Son. No, I didn't set up any of that correctly. Well, I set up some of it correctly. Lawlins is actually on Blaze. Freckle Bob is on Stukov. Forgive me. Dead Wish is on Maiev. Paper Tank's on Raynor. And ETC is played by Desheebs here. As we take a look. ETC power slides in. There's the big combo. Looking at the Zul, who is silenced. But Desheeb taking a ton of damage as well. Stukov did go reactive Ballista Spores here. Not going with the extra damage on the E, which I frankly think is kind of more a meme talent more often than not. I think Reactive Ballista Spores is a great choice into the Greymane specifically. I'm always a Fetid Touch fan into the Cho'Gall because Cho'Gall's hitbox certainly means you're going to be able to stack it. But, of course, it doesn't necessarily provide the on-demand emergency trait, which is a great tool to have. Also, if you go Fetid Touch, you kind of have to go Targeted Excision at 7. And if they're going Grown Infestation, I think Reactive Ballista Spores is the good choice here. Ooh, there is the power slide through onto Cho'Gall, but able to just shove his way through. Blaze doing the double soak dance. Zul doing the same. Keep an eye on that, but focus right now here onto the bottom. Cho'Gall and company looking maybe to invade. They don't pull the trigger on it, I think wisely so. The rest of the team wasn't there. So ReGen Retro are going to have to defend this bottom siege camp. And once again, we're seeing, actually, Blaze still doing some double soak. Raynor going to come up and help with this camp. Are they going to look for a gank with the Maiev? See if maybe they can catch someone out on a bad rotation. Indeed, they get the tether on the Cho'Gall. I think they wanted the Greymane there. Good silence placement by Stukov, forcing the retreat out of ReGen Retro. Level 4s coming in for both teams. Ooh, Zul is on the wrong side of the map. Greymane gonna come in, try to provide an additional target. Great slow from the Stukov, but amazing heal here by Ender. Still though, the tether is gonna secure the kill. Is Paper Tank's gonna go down? No. And that is a win for Baby Makers for the time being. Gotta watch the cocktail over the wall. Oh, the sleep dart. Will it secure enough damage? No, it won't. That said, that ability is going to get a lot stronger as the game goes on. As Greymane Anna currently working on Top Bruiser. Top Bruiser already in the lane for Baby Maker. Zamterex cleaning up the top lane. Should be able to clear that pretty quickly. Blaze, Zul fighting against each other in the bot, while the rest of the members of Baby Makers start working on this shrine. And they are already halfway done. ReGen Retro going to have to rotate in fast if they're going to contest. It's already almost 30. There it is, 31-0, 33-1. And I don't think there's anything Retro is going to be able to do here about this. There we go. So the Punisher has been picked up by Baby Makers. Keep in mind, in the last game, first two objectives were won by Retro, but it was Baby Makers ultimately winning off team fighting. And they really did a good job keeping up in soak against the Vikings. Zul, meanwhile, pushing a big wave into the wall. That's going to force Baby Makers to rotate down to clean that. Blaze clearing up the top lane. A lot of wall damage here from that Bruiser camp. Cho'Gall doing some scouting. Sees the enemy teams there. Retro kind of hovering around. They didn't commit to their own siege camp. And once again, Zul might have been caught out here. Indeed, Zul has. That will allow the rest of Retro to grab their camp. But Zul kind of needs to, I think, be a bit more cautious with these rotations here. Especially with as much CC as there is. And now Cho'Gall getting focused. But is going to be able to sneak on out of there. As we see the members of Baby Makers cleaning up this siege. Lane already cleared by Zamterex. From the top, Zul clearing the top lane. Blaze can be annoying here, but ooh, Maiev is coming up. Zul might need to be careful. Ooh, but Blaze does not hit the stun. Still, though, the body blocks and the tether. Zul has to pop Medallion to get away, and does. But that is that 5-minute cooldown now not available. Cho'Gall maybe rotating up, looking to punish. Now sees the members of Baby Makers rotating away. Ooh, there is the tether on the Zamterex. Now going back in. Didn't quite hit the charge, though. The root is going to land on the Blaze, and the turnaround damage might be very, very real here. That said, Potato getting chased down by Raynor. Sleep Dart dissuading Raynor from pursuing further. Couple of opportunities there, but good disengage by the members of ReGen Retro. That said, oh, Zul might once again go down. And that is, unfortunately, the third time there. They just, man, and to be clear, like, I'm not even blaming the player entirely. It's just like, this comp is, you are literally just a hair out of position, and they will ruin your day. I mean, there's just no hope. And they are playing, I think, the right move, which is avoid the Cho'Gall and just try to be where the Cho'Gall isn't to get as much value as possible. As both teams now pushing opposite forts. Of course, Baby Maker's gonna get the better of this trade if they win this Punisher. The bottom fort has gone down. It is the Arcane Punisher up. And Baby Maker's already stacking. Here come the rest of the members. Great massive shove there to push Stukov, or push Zul away so they could get this fort. And they do. Here comes the engage now. ETC in the bush. Gonna power slide through. But that does give Cho'Gall Rainer a bit out of position here. Ooh, and the big twisting nether. Silence comes out, but it's not enough. There's just so much damage from that twisted nether. That said, can they turn it around now onto Zul? Zul is at a healthy enough place to stay alive now. So all the members of ReGen Retro managing to survive the counter retort. Rainer, though, will be back in 5 seconds and has to make the long walk back top. Zul has Hearth. So for the time being, it is a 4v4. Zul will get here slightly earlier. That said, this Cho'Gall buying a lot of space for Greymane to clear these skeletal minions. Oh, big choke point here. Baby Maker's trying to charge through. They're taking so much damage. Oh, but the Maiev into the Mosh kills Anna. Potato has to charge out of there. Xantarex is low, but manages to chase down the Maiev. It was a great combo, but honestly, a great counter engage by ReGen Retro. And ReGen Retro managing to survive that for now, albeit they do not have a healer. Question is, will Baby Makers have enough to re-engage? They're 12 minions away versus Retro being only 4. That was a great combo, but ETC was just already so low. But the Warden's Cage with the Mosh Pit really, really doing a number. In terms of allowing damage. It did kill the Anna, of course. But that counter engage, I mean, Cho'Gall is just, you know, you think like, oh, we almost got him down. His health bar looks so low. You gotta remember, a low health bar on Cho'Gall is still like over 1,000 health. And it's you kind of have to retrain your brain about how you think of the health bars around it. Cho'Gall did survive that. Now, half health Punisher does go over the wall, but it's getting nuked very quickly. Retro committing to this bruiser camp? No, they're going to back up. Wisely so. But that said, Cho'Gall does have the extra bouncing, and once 16 hits, those are stuns. If Cho'Gall melees someone with that, like, they just die. And there's a sweet spot you hit it, where the person is just hands off keyboard for like 4.5 seconds. And they just die. Bottom cleaned up. Top bruiser stolen. ReGen Retro gonna rotate, grab their Siege. Baby Maker's just gonna grab theirs as well. So Siege pushing in the bot. 2 bruisers pushing in the top. It doesn't have a minion wave yet, so it shouldn't. This first one shouldn't do too much damage. But it's the wave with the next one that's the concern. Blaze currently working on cleaning up the Khazra in the bottom, as well as the Katas, whereas the rest of, the rest of Baby Makers pushing up onto the bottom. Ouch, wow. Here comes the engage, looking for the Cho'Gall. I think that was a medallion pop. Looking for the re-engage with Twisted Nether. Stukov got the root onto Zul, it looked like. Power slide in. Mosh under the tower. Bunker is nearby. They do secure the Zul. They pop into the bunker. There's the root onto Cho'Gall. Can they secure the kill? Nah, just too low. Need time for Stukov to be able to get the heal out onto everyone. Still, though, big kill onto Zul. That will allow some map control for the time being. 16, a little bit closer for Baby Makers as well. Power slide in onto the Greymane. Looks like Medallion was used there by Greymane. Possibly a bush gank. ReGen Retro politely declines the invite. They respond to Facebook with a maybe, which we all know is a no. I'm not coming, but I don't want to hurt your feelings. Both teams now looking to race to 16 before this next Protector comes up. I think it's Mortar, if I remember, because I think the first... No, this one's Frozen. The first was Mortar. Okay. I remember the second was Arcane. I forgot that the first was Mortar. ETC buying space, but now Cho'Gall has that stun. There's a big sleep dart. Twisted Nether comes in. ETC managing to power slide out. Stukov lands the root combo. Maiev has a big Warden's Cage there, but now Maiev trying to look for the exits. There's the Cho'Gall stuns, and it is doing so much damage. And now Sheeps gonna have a hard time getting out of there. D-Sheeps goes down. Blaze trying to retreat. Zul on the chase. Root not available. Zul gonna walk up to clear the lane, but that is ReGen Retro winning this objective, and we talked exactly about that. That Cho'Gall 16 talent, bringing in the stuns onto those Dread Orbs. It is just disgusting. And that is exactly what happened to Maiev and ETC there. They just got caught in those stuns, and it was hands off keyboard, nothing they could do. Stukov does have the Super Strain, but that Dread Orb just already does so much damage that the Super Strain doesn't feel like it counteracts it at all. Now, grabbing both siege camps, putting them into mid lane while they focus on bot. Whereas here comes the defense now from Baby Makers, finding themselves really on the defensive in a big way in this game. In a way that while they had to defend things at times on D-Shire, it never felt that much like a hard defense. There's a sleep dart onto ETC. Cursed Bullet. ETC gonna get rooted here. Cho'Gall wants this. Nano Boost comes in. Oh, great massive shove by Freckle Bob, preventing the re-engage. Hyperion comes out, trying to help to clear this. Cho'Gall just diving right past. Paper Tanks is so low. Now has the Adrenaline Rush. Oh, root on the Greymane. Can they secure the kill? No, the Punisher now turning its attention to the core as the keep is down. Cho'Gall diving in. Can they get the stun? Oh, if that lands, it hits onto Maiev. There's the Poison Nova. The shields, meanwhile, are down. ETC sleeping, having to retreat, gets stunned by the Cho'Gall Orbs. Greymane has just been going to town on the core this entire time. Mosh Pit is not going to be enough, and Greymane finishes the core. And the Cho'Gall took so much attention, Baby Makers just seemed to forget about Greymane there. And by the time they realized it, like, shit, their core's at 50%. ReGen Retro, fantastic turnaround game. And man, they hit that 16 power spike, and good lord. So that Cho'Gall talent needs a nerf, I think is what I'm trying to say. Look at that Gall damage, 56.4 added to the show. I mean, far, far in excess of anything we saw out from Baby Makers there. Baby Makers had some good combos. Look at a low death game, 5-5, but the key was, even though a lot of those picks were onto the solo laner, they managed to keep up in XP. But it looks like the next map has already been decided. We're going to go to Towers of Doom. So we'll see what happens when we get there. We'll be right back, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. All right, that was a very, very quick break. Love it when the teams get back in. Great turnaround there by ReGen Retro. Started with that top Punisher, but that Cho'Gall, it controlled the bottom. And that's the power of that 16 talent. Adding stuns to the Dread Orb was a terrible decision. It makes Cho'Gall so oppressive post 16, and it's not like that would be his strongest 20 talent by far, and it's a 16. Is unpleasant. Lost Vikings, Cho'Gall banned out, Medivh, Diva. Diva, the only thing here that has not been played this series. And on a map like Infernal Shrines where you have to fight over the objective is just so strong that you can't ignore it. Cho'Gall's going to get value. And that game, you know, that map pretty much never finishes before 16. It almost all, in fact, I dare say it usually goes past 20 at anything except maybe the very, very highest levels of play. And even then I see it go past 20 a lot. Freckle Bob jumping straight onto the Ana. Ana, 100% participation rate tonight. Also a 100% win rate. Garrosh, though, Zami getting that hero. And there's the Garrosh Alarak. That is displacement for days. I have a feeling some members of Baby Makers are going to be going on a trip this game. Telekinesis into the Garrosh throw. There's the Medivh ETC. Baby Maker's going to go right back to that. Despite the Garrosh taunt potentially messing with that. We'll see if they're able to execute the combo like they did in the last game and actually secure wins off of it. What band comes? Is it the Stukov? Or no, it wouldn't be Stukov. What am I saying? They already have a healer. They're going to deny the Greymane. Which, I see the comp Baby Makers has. I was Greymane the pick. I guess they're worried about Cursed Bullet, but you'd think they'd want some kind of potential AoE damage. Like, Raynor has that with Give 'em some pepper. Greymane doesn't really have AoE damage until level 20. Zarya gonna be the ban from Baby Makers. Perhaps something they have scouted? Zarya, Garrosh, a known combo. You go Speed Barrier to enable the Garrosh throw. Deckard, Zul. So Zul's gonna offlane. Gonna have to be careful. Got caught out a lot last time. This map a bit easier to rotate more safely on. But there are a lot of ganking angles. Especially when you can cut off the rotations a lot. Deckard, gonna have the sleep. Doesn't really have burst healing, though, to deal with Mav might do. But that's it with 3 melee. Ruby could certainly get value. Sonya, well, okay, so with 4 melee, it could definitely get value. Did they just go 4 melee into Zul? Baby Makers with mayhaps one of the most aggressive comps I've ever seen. It is, they're gonna get kills. The question is, will they outlast? I mean, that is 4 melee. I know Cassie's technically ranged, but she's functionally melee in terms of where she needs to be. That is a Deathwing as well, so not gonna care about the CC coming out. Did these teams agree to just not have range damage before the match, and I just missed it? Because this is a lot of melee. It's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be a really fun game. This has been a great series. So, I'm excited to see this. I don't know what to make of these drafts. They are very in your face on both counts. Let's see. Deathwing obviously doesn't have to worry about CC.
Prepare yourself for battle, hero.
But we'll see. I'm kind of looking at this like I don't know what to expect at all. So we're just gonna have to watch the game to find out. Go ahead and introduce the teams on the left side. ReGen Retro. It is going to be Aaron on Zul, Hunter X on the Deathwing. You can't see them because they are airborne right now. Zammy on the Garrosh. Potato on the Alarak, and Ender on the Anna. And on the right side, Baby Maker is going to be Lawlins on Sonya, Frecklebob on the Anna, Paper Tanks on Cassia, D-Sheebs once again on ETC, and Deadwish once again on the Maiev. Take a look at those talents for you. Fairly standard looking, although I will straight up admit I don't know. I don't know the Cassia, Maiev, or Deathwing builds. I'll just be honest about that. The block party's actually interesting to me. You'd think they'd be able to rotate, get a lot of globes. And that extra AoE healing could help out. I also just, I guess, what auto attacks are they blocking? 'Cause I don't really think of any hero on the other side as like a big auto attack hero, but I could be very, very wrong on that. Alarak getting a quick 2-hit combo there. Of course, not going for any kind of quest that involves hitting multiple heroes. Sonya currently getting focused here. Good telekinesis Discord strike with the Deathwing stun. Not really looking for kills yet. Zul, once again, very aggressive positioning. And I guess this is just to disrupt the Sonya rotations, try to block out XP soak. But, you know, last game when Zul did this, it got punished pretty heavily at times. Recognized, of course, that time that the members of Baby Makers were on camp, so fairly safe to do it. But just has to be a bit more... I'll use a bit more discretion in picking when to do that this game to avoid what happened last time, is what I think I want to say. Pumpkins against pumpkins, some pumpkin on pumpkin action here in the bot. Pumpkin sappers do get cleared up. Alarak and Deckard gonna help out Zul. They're gonna get the mid soak that was there. Ooh, ETC going in aggressive. They want Alarak, but the root actually gonna land, and now D-Sheebs is just completely bodied, and oh boy. Trying to peel Deadwish out, and that is a blood sacrifice there. And that is actually the first... This is the first game where ReGen Retro has drawn first blood. As the other two games, it was Baby Makers. All these games have been fairly low kill count, though. Even the Dragon Shard game was, you know, I mean, ReGen Retro, I think, had a lot of deaths that game, but the early kills weren't super impactful. They're trying to engage this, but that Deathwing in the way is such a body. Ender currently channeling, nobody interrupting, and Ender's going to get through the bottom channel. Sonya and Zul trade out in the top. Now the question is, will ETC get out? There is the root, has to blow the medallion. Oh, but Garrosh throwing ETC back in. But now potentially a chance for a re-engage. Ooh, great Discord strike there from Potato. ETC power slides through. They're looking at the Garrosh. They disengage the Deckard root. Zammy Bart very low. Anna throwing out the healing. Nobody really getting onto the Anna. And now it's Potato's going to get tethered back. ETC power slides through looking for the Deckard. Certainly ensures the Deckard cannot heal Alarak. And a great job there by Baby Makers grabbing a couple kills. But it is ReGen Retro with both the XP lead and the tower lead getting the 2-for-1 on the structures. Might have cheeky little backing interrupt there. Meanwhile, the solo laners continue to... I call them solo laners, even though they're both double laning. But they both continue to just do that. Pumpkin Sappers being taken by both teams. ETC zoning out. Garrosh can be like, there's probably someone in that bush. I can get a stack. More. Sun's coming out. My ETC stunned by the World Breaker. Not super impactful. There's a root on Sonya. Once again, just slowing down these rotations, making sure that some of these minion XP clubs get missed. Saw one get denied up there. So, you know, it's just trying to help them win this XP race, which they currently are winning to level 10. Next two altars are top. Zul is the only one up for the members of Retro right now. Zul gonna have to back up here. Sonya and ETC posturing up aggressively. Do they look for the invade, or do they just look to soak and try to catch up? Looks like it's the latter. Although they may look for the gank onto Sonya on the side of ReGen Retro. They want to rotate down too. They don't want to lose the race to level 10. ETC going to try to deny what it can, allow Cassia to get some damage onto these front towers. Both teams level 9. ETC. Power slid in looking for something, didn't really find it. Garrosh was there, ready to come in on the flank if it turned into a fight, but I don't think really either team wanted to fight there, especially Baby Makers, I think once they saw that Garrosh, recognizing how close level 10 was. And level 10 now is here. Garrosh is going to look for the cutoff. Can they find the flip? No! Paper Tank's managing to get behind the gate just in time to avoid the throw. Looking at the level 10s, it is Stay a While, Counter-Strike. That is, I believe, Bellowing Roar. Yes, Bellowing Roar. Ooh, they have found a Sonya. Warlord's Challenge going to secure the kill. Sleep was used as well. So Counter-Strike, Warlord's Challenge, and Sleep all used to secure that pickoff. But with all those resources used, I think they need to get some kind of structural damage here to make it worthwhile. It is a solo altar phase next. On the other side, Sonya went Wrath of the Berserker, Mosh Pit, Nano Boost, Ball Lightning, and Warden's Cage. They're going to try to do the Ball Lightning paired up with the Warden's Cage. Thank you for the raid, Crush. As we're taking a look here at ReGen Retro versus Baby Makers Game 3 action. And here comes Deathwing trying to posture up aggressively. ETC managing to get the Mosh onto the back line. Potentially looking for the re-engage with the Warden's Cage. So much damage being turned around, but will the Ball Lightning allow 4 kills to come the other way? It does. But D-Sheeps and Lawlands both so low. And great Discord Strike to interrupt the Whirlwind. That is going to make sure Sonya goes down as well. As my cat is meowing at me, I think you can hear that. Hi, Stu. That is Stuart. He is the emote cat. You are getting Stu Bucks by watching this channel. Hello, Stuart. He is coming over for some pets because he is a good kitty. Great job there by ReGen Retro. And I really want to spot out what Hunter X did. Hunter X stepped up really aggressively, but that's what Deathwing can do. Just stand in the middle with that Bellowing Roar. It's not just that it's a Horrify that separates out the members of Baby Makers. It's also just that Deathwing has a really fucking big HP pool and a ton of armor and is in between your front line and your back line. So even when you get that Warden's Cage Mosh, there's not a lot Baby Makers can do with it because Cassia just had such a hard time setting up. Cassia did get some damage out there, but it was enough for ReGen Retro to get the objective, which of course is the goal, and now they find themselves up effectively 2 objectives. Now we are heading into a double altar phase. But 13 is in the hands of ReGen Retro, and they may have caught out Cassia. Cassie going to be able to walk away from that, but it looks like the members of ReGen Retro are a bit separated here. ETC tries to get in. They throw ETC in. He's alone. Discord Strike trying to prevent the re-engage. Counter-Strike is going to secure the kill. Great job there by Potato on that Alarak. And now Deadwish looking for the emergency exit. Does find it. Channel mid will belong to ReGen Retro. And they should be able to get bot as well. Cassie is actually in a really bad spot. I'm like 90% sure Cassie is... I'm 100% sure Cassie is dead. I thought Cassie was dead earlier, so I said 90. I'm feeling okay. I'm still a little, you know... Still a little, tonight, if I'm honest. Meanwhile, Sonya Zul continuing to push against each other. Let's take a look at the damage. Looks like Sonya is actually slightly edging this one out here. In the top lane at the moment. But that said, XP lead favors ReGen Retro, and they now find themselves with effectively a 4-altar lead. Which can, of course, be made up. We're heading to the triple altar phase. That is a big one. Babymakers, if they're going to start turning the game around, really want to start looking at that next altar phase. Maybe try to get a pick beforehand. Speaking of picks, Sonya needs to run away. Good communication there. Letting Lawlins know to back up. Sapper camps being grabbed here by ReGen Retro. Racing to 16. Currently winning that race by about 3/4 of a level. Deathwing stepping up, though, and Deathwing can't afford to kind of stall. Tried to stall out, but now actually might be in a bit of trouble. Oh, the great Horrify. Deckard Root comes in, rooting them in the Cataclysm. But the support from Ana just making sure they can walk away. And Hunter X actually very low. Is going to have to probably back here. No, just take to the skies. That works just as well. Triple altar phase. Baymakers did get Deathwing low. Can they do something with this? Zul is going to push up the mid. Sonya going to have to clear this to prevent too much damage to that mid tower. Are they just going to trade out in the top? Doesn't look like anyone contesting Zul at the moment. Deathwing has dropped down to the bottom. Is not actually full health. Actually, Maev is going to come up and contest the Zul. And Cassie is going to be up here as well. Zul goes for the interrupt with the Scythe. Garrosh channeling the mid at the moment does do so. Now, Babymakers actually starting to retreat from this, so they did not get the altar. They could find themselves now going down effectively 5 altars if they don't lose anyone here, which they don't. But that level 16 talent here does ward them off, and it is now 28-8. Effectively a 5-altar lead now, and with no more triple altar phases, that effectively means you're going to start seeing some caps. There is a big taunt from the Garrosh into the sleep. Can they secure some kills here? On to Babymakers. ETC did step up. He is rooted. He is silenced. And he is going to go down. Big kill there by ReGen Retro. Now the chase on to Freckle Bob. Freckle Bob going to be able to walk out of there. But with that kill, they could immediately push in and take this boss. And that is going to leave just 4 points on the core of Babymakers. Next altar is a single altar phase, however. So Babymakers will have a chance to contest at minimum. The question is, are they going to lose their bottom fort? On the... No, they're not. Actually, they're looking like they... it's going to be Babymakers trying to take ReGen Retro's bottom fort here. Would certainly be helpful, as it would make it to where the next altar isn't necessarily fatal. But that said, I mean, the time is running out. Clock's about to tick midnight. It is 28-4. Babymaker's margin of error is functionally 0 at this point. Retro, do they want to reconvert? Do they want to fight? Garrosh gets power slid. Throws Diablo away. Nano has been popped by the Cassia. The ReGen Retro just going to back up a bit, try to let that run out. Alarak using the telekinesis to walk away. And here comes Sonya. Zul not with the team. Ooh, Alarak might be in a bad spot here. There's the counter-strike, though. The real damage comes out. There is a Great into the fray to save. And now Sonya having a hard time getting away. Taunt onto ETC. There's a big Poison Nova. Warden's Cage trapping in Dead Wish has... Or excuse me, trapping in the members of ReGen Retro. But ReGen Retro says, we're not in here with you. You're in here with us. They secure a kill. That's had 2 turnarounds onto the Garrosh and the Alarak. Aaron is now so low. Aaron's going to go down. And after getting those first 2 kills, even though they were doing well at that point, you know, the Poison Nova, the Warden's Cage, the Lightning Ball, or the Ball Lightning, I should say, all of it enough damage for the members of Babymakers to ultimately win that fight. They cash in 5 points, 23-4. Margin is 19. We'll see what the next altar phase is. It's probably a double. Maev starting to work on the Pumpkin Sappers. A lot of knives resets, exactly. Trying to just clear up the Sappers, and they do. Prevent any shots going into their core. ReGen Retro wanted to preserve as much of this lead as they can. Garrosh looked for the stun with the minion throw, didn't find it. That said, this is now another Sapper push coming in. Now, if it starts to look bad, Retro can absolutely back off this. But that said, they do a good job chunking some damage into ETC, forcing back the members of Babymakers long enough to clear the objective. Garrosh now stepping up, but gets dismounted. Oh, ETC separated out. There's the taunt. But here comes the Warden's Cage. Ball Lightning with the Nano. No, Cassia's sleeping, and they're just going to let the sleeping Cassia lie. Great, great job there. Not waking up Cassia. And that is effectively a wasted Nano boost. And a wasted Warden's Cage. That said, you won't have sleep either. Counter-Strike, though, should be up for the fight. This is a solo altar phase. ReGen Retro can very much afford to give this up if they're trying to soak for 20s, which it looks like they are. But that said, 20 close for Babymakers, too. I don't know how much they're going to be able to get things done with the level 20 advantage here. Azul is top. And they're still finding themselves trying to recapture bottom here. Taking a look at the 20s. We see Garrosh going with the throwing 2 targets. Respect the Elderly coming out from Deckard. That will certainly limit the effectiveness of Cassia if she gets caught in it. As well as the Maev. Both heroes very much based on their ability power. Telekinesis combo comes out onto Cassia. ReGen Retro commits to this bottom. They want to retake this. They do get the stun onto ETC, and there's the Discord Strike. Now ETC, though, able to power slide out. Oh my goodness, the Fan of Knives resets. Dead Wish just got like 1,000 resets there. And it just completely sapped ReGen Retro of any desire to fight at this point. They're like, nah, we're cool. You guys aren't that bad. We won't fight. Not a lot of range poke from ReGen Retro. Not a lot of range poke, period, in this game. Ooh, here comes the engage. Maev gets the Nano, goes in. There, however, is the Poison Nova. It hits all the members of Babymakers. That's not the first kill, is the Deckard. Deadwish and Lawlins both staying alive on this backline, and they manage to find the Garrosh kill, although Maev goes down as well. Zul has stepped up, throws the root onto ETC. He breaks it. With the help of Anna, I should say. Anna with the root removal. And but now, Babymakers with a continued opportunity to just close this gap. ReGen Retro finding themselves down a hero. Not even going to be able to trade out here. So this will be 8 points. It'll be 10-4. Keep in mind, this game was 28-4 at one point. I mean, Towers of Doom can have turnaround. 28-4 is a potentially massive turnaround. But it hasn't happened yet. Still, though, it has turned into quite the long game here. Yeah, Maev just getting so many resets with these Fans of Knives. Dapper is going to be grabbed by Baby Makers in the bottom. ReGen Retro, both teams scouting out boss, making sure the other's not on it. Sonya has to keep eyes on boss because it is a win condition for Retro. Duel currently soaking the top. We'll see how aggressively Baby Makers wants to look for a gank. Oh, this could be bad. Oh no, they're not going for the Zul. They're actually going for the boss here. And they should get this, seeing all the members of Retro down. So this is now going to be 6-4. Next altar phase is double, too. So whoever wins this next fight, very, very likely to win the game. Recognizing that the members of Baby Makers were likely on boss, they take the keep. But are they going to be able to get out? Mosh Pit onto the Alarak. Alarak, though, gets into the fray out of there. Warden's Cage tries to seal them in, but it doesn't work. That said, Zammy Bars is so low, trying to escape. Sonya on the back line, has to respect the elderly. Zul comes in with the flank, Poison Nova, Cassie on the chase, but it's Sonya is going to be the first to fall, and this might be the opportunity ReGen Retro needed. Deadly Charge comes in, though, and the turnaround on Alarak. No, the counter strike, it still does some damage, but Alarak does go down. The Ruby's not able to save him in time. So it is a 1-for-1 trade there. I think it was a bit over-aggressive there by the Alarak. Zul and Maiev fighting over the mid. We're going to keep our eyes down here to the bottom. Garrosh with the big stun. ETC really goes in. Has the face melt to knock back Ender. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Zammy Bars trying to get the damage. Meanwhile, Maiev Zul. Looks like Zul slowly winning that one. We're keeping our eyes down here to the bottom. Ender forcing in the members by channeling the point. That's going to allow them maybe to get caught by Garrosh. Deckard Root comes out. Oh, that's going to land on the ETC. There's the stun from the Garrosh, and Hunter X is all over Anna. Anna tries to stay alive, has the healing grenade, but Anna will go down. Bellowing roar onto ETC. Meanwhile, Zul, Maiev, looks like Zul continuing to win that. No, there's the vault to avoid the root. Maiev is going to have to interrupt this Zul channel. Down here in the bottom. Oh, respect the early comes out. Deckard still gets stunned. Garrosh with the stuns. They're somehow staying alive down here. Zul rotating down. They just need to get one, and they are committing for this. Down here, they find the Cassia. ETC is low. Dead Wish is low. My goodness, this fight has been lasting an absolute eternity, but it looks like ReGen Retro is going to win the game. Alarak has actually come back. This fight has gone on so long. Alarak and Sonya have come back and rotated back to objective. And finally, ReGen Retro able to close that game out after just a fantastic comeback by Baby Makers. But my goodness, what a series. All three games great, but that last fight, I ran out of breath like 3 times. Good lord. That fight lasted like 3 minutes. No, it felt like it lasted like a minute and a half, but that's still insane. What a crazy game. My goodness. Whew. Well, we are definitely going to have an interview with ReGen Retro after this. We'll take a brief break while I set that up and catch my breath a little. What a great series. Congrats to ReGen Retro. We'll be right back. Stay tuned, everyone. Thank you for watching. Hi there.
Hello. Cool.
Is it just you?
Yes, it is
Okay.
just me. I
No worries.
asked.
Yeah, no worries. I just wanted to make sure before I jumped in. Oh. All right, ready?
I am ready. Hello?
Yeah. No. I just running the intro. No worries. Hi. So normally what I do is just for clarification, what I was doing was I was just running my intro before the interview, or not my bumper anyway. But anyway, hi. So I am joined, as you heard, by Zammy, the tank and captain of ReGen Retro, who had pretty good comeback series there. Got to be honest, but it was actually just an amazing game 3. Certainly very fun to cast. How you guys feeling after that one?
Good, man. Really fun games. Shouts out to Baby Makers for those very fun games, man.
Yeah, so map 1, which I have to remember because it feels like it was just an eternity ago. Map 1 on Dragonshire.
Mm-hmm.
You guys break out the Vikings and have like a pick-oriented comp with the Vikings, which is, a common strat these days on the map. Why do you think you had trouble getting the kills you needed to make that work?
Um, was that was the map where Medivh
Yeah,
was being played? Yeah, man, the Medivh was nuts. Medivh Ana kind of sucked to go up against. Um, yeah, I think that was basically it. Very good
yeah,
Medivh play. Um, I felt like I couldn't really engage because it wouldn't do much because of the shield.
right.
So yeah.
Yeah, the Medivh shielded like over 30,000 damage that game, which was just insane.
Uh huh.
Obviously, some really good ley lines there as well. Um, you guys held on there, and you actually punched back a few moments, but ultimately weren't able to close that one out. But Infernal Shrines, you guys break out the Cho'Gall, and tell me again about the joys of Cho'Gall at level 16.
Like all the work you've put in, all the sweat and tears, it's all paid off.
At
Um,
level 16 specifically?
yeah, your
Yeah.
gall just carries you. You just whack people to death, and you win the video game. Especially when your honor presses are with you. Oh, it's a dream.
Yeah,
But they were doing really good at just
mhm.
knocking us away with the Stukov. That was
Yeah.
messed up, man.
Stukov massive shoves were good, but once you kind of got onto that tight objective with the stunning dread orbs, it felt like there wasn't a lot to be done, and that's probably because there wasn't a lot to be done. So obviously, you guys,
Yeah,
got
man.
that opportunity, made the most of it, and managed to win the game off it. What made you
All
pick
OP.
Towers of Doom for the last?
It's a good map for. I don't know. I just think it's a good map. Um, Very comeback oriented, but there's all you always have time, and I think we understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go like Diablo is decent there, and
Mm-hmm.
there's other tanks that are good there. You can go for a pick comp, macro, whatever you want, really. Yeah,
Yeah, and
just
you
because it was
guys.
open ended.
Now, I was during the draft. I looked at this map, and you both picked really all-in oriented comps, it felt like. I'm pulling up the post game now just so people can be reminded of the heroes. I mean, it's effectively like almost like 4v4 melee. Um, like what? I guess I mean ultimately that helped. I think that helped you guys out. But like, what was it like playing those fights when there was just so much engage from both teams?
It was pretty cool. Like the Maiev was definitely a challenge, especially with like ETC and Sonya
Mhm.
backing her up. But I don't know. I guess we answered it twice pretty well. Yeah, Maiev is so annoying. But yeah, those especially that last comp, like I
Mhm.
think somebody was like, yeah, cool dude, like let's take Deckard and 4 brawlers. And it like just felt pretty good, it felt fun. It wasn't like super meta slavey.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, crazy end of that game. That last fight felt like it lasted a year and a half.
Yeah.
I'd say it was making my hair fall out. Um, but no, it was. How do you kind of stay calm in that situation where you have a split fight, both of you have lost the hero, and whoever wins the fight wins the game? How do you stay calm?
I think one thing that helped today was like the team was communicating really well. Um, like Aaron was calling that Maiev was stuck top or mid on objective, and he was calling that like she couldn't intervene on our
Mhm.
side, so that definitely helped a lot. And yeah, everyone's calls were really good, so I think it's up to that, instead of just like tunneling,
Mhm.
which I think happened a little bit in game one.
Right.
Um, yeah.
All right. Well, with that, congrats on the win. Congrats on closing out that very epic Towers of Doom game. And with that, the floor is yours for shoutouts.
Shouts out to NGS and all the casters and all the mods. Um, and then shout out to ReGen and Murda, and shout out to you for casting. Thank you very much.
Happy to.
And Baby Makers for the great game. And thank you to the Academy, of course. And I think that's it. My mom. Thanks. Yeah. uh,
All right. Well, with that, thank you again so much for letting me cast that. It was a great match. Thanks for coming in for the interview. And hopefully
for
I'll be able to
sure.
cast you guys again. That was just a great series. Take care. Have a great
Yeah.
night.
Thank you, man. You too.
All right. And with that, we will be drawing this night to a close as far as HOTS is concerned. I'm probably just going to get a quick drink in that. I kind of want to just keep playing Sunshine. I've been doing a 100% run in Sunshine. I've never 100% at Sunshine. I just got 120 stars in Super Mario 64 for like the first time in my life. And I decided, well, why not 100% Sunshine? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But that means this is not NGS related at all. And so if you don't want to watch someone casually suck at Sunshine, which I will do, go watch somewhere else, and that'll be fine too. Otherwise, though, have a great night. Thank you for coming in. Take care. And for those of you